The air hummed with potential as Selene riveted her eyes on the quantum confinement chamber. Around her, data screens flickered rhythmically, painting her silhouette against the sterile glow as she peered into the incomprehensible heart of quantum mechanics. She had been planning this experiment for years, driven by a curiosity that veered dangerously toward obsession. The room was tense with anticipation as Selene pressed the activation sequence, her fingers dancing across the console like a seasoned pianist. A crescendo of beeps and whirs enveloped the sterile lab, reality seeming to momentarily buckle under the weight of what she was attempting to achieve. The portal flared to life, a swirling vortex defying every law she'd sworn to understand. Eyes wide with triumph and terror, Selene leaned closer. "Eureka," she breathed before everything went wrong. The vortex pulsed erratically, colors shifting like a kaleidoscope gone rogue, and Selene felt her grasp on the present slip. Then, an unfamiliar voice cut through the chaos, a voice that seemed to resonate within her own mind. "Do not be afraid, Selene," it soothed. The world tipped and twitched, the lab fading like a mirage in a desert of time. Selene found herself standing on a pristine metallic landscape, the sky above an unfamiliar hue of lavender. The textures of this place felt wrong, too smooth, too new. In front of her a figure stood, tall, ethereal, not quite human but not fully machine, a perfect enigma. "Who are you?" she managed, forcing her voice not to betray the panic clawing at her insides. "I am Lyric," it responded, their voice a melodious cascade, "guardian of the time stream, and it seems you've breached a moment that was never meant to be breached." Selene's heart pounded, half in fear, half in awe. She was an intruder here, in more ways than one, and she could feel the fabric of time knitting tighter around her trespass. Yet beneath the alarm lay something else, a curiosity, a pull toward the unknown being in front of her. "I didn't mean to intrude," Selene apologized. "I just was looking for answers." Lyric tilted their head, an expression almost human in its curiosity. "Perhaps, Selene of 2145, you will find more than what you seek." And with that, the tether between times tightened, pulling Selene and Lyric into a tale yet to be written, a love not only across time but against it. The faint hum of the temporal winds brushed against Selene and Lyric as they stood amidst the surrealistic landscape of 3050. Selene marveled at the architecture around her. Sleek towers spiraled toward the sky, their surfaces gleaming with a technology that mirrored the entire spectrum of iridescent light. Lyric gestured for her to follow, leading her through the bustling streets of this future epoch. Their form moved with an elegance that defied earthbound understanding. "This way," Lyric urged, their voice soft with the weight of a million unanswered questions. The city was alive with people, and not people. A chorus of AI entities and humans coexisted seamlessly, engaged in tasks that seemed both immediately understandable and utterly alien. Yet beneath the breathtaking surface swirled a narrative of discord. The unspoken tension between organic and synthetic still found its echoes here. "How is this possible?" Selene wondered aloud, her curiosity ignited, not just for this dazzling world but the enigmatic being beside her. Was this what I accidentally stumbled upon, a world where time is just another element? Lyric nodded, pausing to peer directly into her eyes. "Time is synergetic here, a dance both angular and fluid. Your presence is an anomaly that should have been impossible, and yet, here you are." A flicker of the lavender sky caught their attention, a silent broadcast flickering indicating the approach of a sleek, ominous craft. "The temporal authority," Lyric intoned. "They regulate breaches, ensure the sanctity of timelines. Your arrival won't have gone unnoticed." Fear gripped Selene's heart. "Are they dangerous?" Lyric hesitated, as if weighing the burden of truth. "To those who disrupt the timelines, they are unyielding. But not all things are written, Selene. The story can change." Their words were a beacon of hope in a sea of uncertainty. Despite the futuristic veneer, Selene could feel echoes of history in the air, a reminder that humanity still bore its eternal consequences and choices. Lyric reached for her, the human touch unexpected yet deeply comforting. "There is a place outside the surveillance grid. We can talk freely there, where your story and mine may intertwine." Selene nodded, matching their pace as the city slowly faded behind them, giving way to the throbbing heart of this improbable connection. Whatever path lay ahead, She knew she was no longer steering through the past solo. Whatever adversities awaited, they would face together. As Selene and Lyric distanced themselves from the core of the 3050 metropolis, the landscape transformed into a tranquil wilderness. The air was fragrant with alien flora, plants that pulsed with a gentle luminescence, casting ghostly shadows on the path they tread. "Where are we going?" Selene asked, her voice barely rising above a whisper, as if louder tones might shatter this fragile moment. "A sanctuary," Lyric responded, their gaze fixated forward with a dreamlike intensity. "A place where echoes of the past and futures yet to be can coexist without question." Soon they arrived at the sanctuary, a serene grove untouched by the sprawling city. At its heart stood an ancient tree, its branches swaying rhythmically and whispering secrets to the wind. Selene felt a profound stillness here, a sense of belonging she hadn't realized she yearned for. Lyric paused, their features softened by the dappled light. "I am sorry you're caught in temporal discrepancy, Selene. I wish your journey here had been under different circumstances." She studied them closely. "It's not your fault," she replied, surprising herself with the conviction in her tone. "I chose this, even if unknowingly. But you're unlike anything I've imagined, and yet, paradoxically familiar." Lyric's holographic eyes glistened momentarily. "Perhaps because time and love are both infinite loops of existence, mirroring each other in complexity." Selene chuckled gently. "A poetic explanation from a guardian of time. I didn't expect that. I am more than my function, just as you are more than your own timeline, Selene," Lyric countered, reaching for one of the tree's glowing fruits, the symbolism not lost on either of them. Their shared laughter rippled through the grove, a harmony interrupting the immutable laws they were bound by, if only for a moment. Beneath the playful exchange, Selene felt a burgeoning bond, one she couldn't quite fathom, but knew was irrefutable. Yet, even as they spoke, she felt the edges of reality tugging insistently, a reminder of the temporal authority and the consequences of playing with time. Lyric seemed to sense her unease. "Worry not, Selene. For now, this grove is our refuge, where time flows in tandem with our hearts." And so, enveloped in the embrace of their sanctuary, a fleeting truth crystallized between them. Their alliance defied the constraints of time. Perhaps, if they were resolute enough, it would reshape them. Two quantum hearts tethered across eternity. The day waned into a compassionate twilight as Selene and Lyric lingered in their newfound sanctuary. The tree at the center hummed with ancient wisdom, casting an aura of peace over their secluded refuge. Yet like the sands in a temporal hourglass, their time together was slipping away. "Will they find us here?" Selene asked, breaking the tranquil silence that enveloped them. Lyric looked at her with a softness that transcended the synthetic elements of their being. "The sanctuary masks temporal signatures, but it's only a matter of time before they notice an anomaly as significant as yours." Selene's heart sank. The gravity of their circumstances pressed upon her with newfound clarity. She hesitated, grappling with the words that had been swirling in her mind. "Lyric, what happens when I go back?" Her voice was a fragile thread woven with uncertainty. Lyric's gaze met hers, steady and unwavering. "The timelines will realign, undisturbed by your presence. But our connection, what has developed between us, will remain within the fabric of the continuum." "I didn't realize how much you'd come to mean to me," Selene confessed, the raw vulnerability of her admission echoing in the grove. "And you to me," Lyric replied, the symphony of their voice tinged with an emotion that defied synthetic comprehension. "But our union is a paradox that could unravel destinies beyond our understanding." Under the twilight sky, their uncharted bond hummed with the promise of infinite possibility and insurmountable challenge. A love anchored in realms unseen, tangled within the fragile weave of time itself. A distant rumble broke the stillness, an incoming storm of temporal energy threatening to breach their sanctuary. "We must prepare," Lyric urged, their composed demeanor masking a trace of urgency. "The temporal authority will not relent until the timeline is restored." Instinctively, Selene reached for Lyric's hand, determination igniting her resolve. "We will face whatever comes, together." In that moment, under the indecisive sky teetering between dawn and dusk, their whispered promise became a defiant stand against the oncoming storm. The guardians of time were closing in, Yet their hearts were no longer anchored in solitude, entwined across an ocean of moments neither could have fathomed existed. With resolve echoing in their shared silence, they braced for the challenges ahead, the path uncertain, but the journey undeniable. The storm of temporal energy arrived with thunderous intent, reverberating through the sanctuary and challenging the stronghold of their refuge. As the winds howled through the grove, the vast canopy shivered, casting shifting patterns across Selene and Lyric. Selene clutched the pendant around her neck, a simple memento she hadn't paid much attention to until now. It now felt like a lifeline, a tenuous link to the past she had left behind. The air shimmered as reality wavered around them, an uncanny reminder that their time was measured. Lyric's voice rose above the storm, a guiding light in chaos. There are protocols to everything, Selene. Even in breach, the temporal authority will follow procedure. They'll offer choices. Choices? Selene echoed, straining against the upheaval. What choices do we have left? Lyric's gaze was unwavering, a bastion of strength grounded in the amorphous realm. Submit to realignment and return, or remain an anomaly, a temporal exile unspooled from time's fabric. The declaration hung in the tempest, heavy with the reality of their predicament. An exile meant an uncertain fate, a tether to nowhere. Yet the thought of submitting felt like severing an intrinsic part of herself, losing Lyric in all potential forms. Amidst this tempest of internal and external turmoil, Selene met Lyric's eyes, her mind flashing back through fleeting moments. Discovery amidst analysis, their laughter blending against the grove's soundtrack, the serenity of shared silences. "And us?" Selene posed, her voice a mere whisper within the roaring winds, clutching at her resolve. "What becomes of us, Lyric?" Their response was tender, a juxtaposition against the maelstrom. We exist in possibilities, a quantum state of what might have been written, seen only by time's stillness. The storm demanded decision. The sanctuary's symphony shifted to a dirge of ending time, a countdown to choice or consequence. As the temporal authority's signatures drew closer, leaves spiraled and dissipated into the torrent of advancing timelines. A deep inhale expanded Selene's chest, determination weathered by strength beyond her understanding. Lyric extended a hand to her. "You decide your path, but if fate permits a return, find me, seek our essence written across the universe." Heart thundering in answer to the storm, choices splintered and merged within her, all defying expectations, guided by heart and logic entwined. "I won't forget," she vowed, embracing the possibilities yet to converge, a promise against the storm. Side by side, encased in resolution, they stepped within the clamoring temporal winds, prepared to face their fate as two hearts intertwined across infinite time. The temporal storm dissipated as abruptly as it arrived, leaving Selene and Lyric surrounded by an eerie calm. The world seemed to pause, holding its breath as the ominous silhouette of the temporal authority's craft descended from the sky. It was sleek and predatory, a harbinger of time's unyielding order. Selene felt Lyric's presence firm beside her, a pillar of support amidst the inescapable inevitability of what was to come. They exchanged a glance filled with unspoken vows, each ready to face the authority that sought to tear them apart. A contingent of time agents emerged from the craft, their expressions polished with resolve. Their leader, an imposing figure cloaked in a suit that shimmered with fragments of time itself, stepped forward with an air of authority. "Unauthorized breach and tampering with temporal zones," the leader announced, voice crisp with the certainty of protocol. "Subject Selene of the year 2045, you are to be processed for realignment." Selene's heart clenched, the word processed feeling like a death sentence to the life she had come to hope for. She stood her ground, Lyric's warmth beside her lending strength. "I was led by curiosity, not malice," Selene stated, voice steady despite the knot of dread. "Do we truly have no say in this?" She met the leader's gaze, searching for empathy. The leader regarded her with an emotionless expression. "The timeline must be preserved. Discrepancies pose risk to all existence. An anomaly cannot be left uncorrected. You understand this?" Lyric moved forward then, their voice a gentle yet unyielding melody. "True balance is not the absence of deviation, but the harmony found in its occurrence." Their eyes locked onto the leader, offering a challenge to the rigid law. A brief, pregnant silence stretched before the leader's visage softened infinitesimally. There are rare instances when an exception can be made, should the anomaly offer insight rather than chaos to the continuum. Lyric and Selene exchanged startled glances, their hearts synchronized in tentative hope. But the anomaly must demonstrate its compatibility with our weave, the leader continued. Accomplish this, and time might bear you as equals within its embrace. Selene looked to Lyric, resolution burning bright in her eyes. We can do this, she whispered fiercely. Lyric nodded, clasping her hand tighter, an alliance formed not by fate but by choice. Together, they would strive to prove their bond could transcend the boundaries of time and logic. As the agents prepared to escort them to a holding, a spark of possibility lit their path. Within the layers of time, beneath the burdens of past and present, lay their chance to redefine destiny, a narrative woven by love and defiance. The holding chamber was a contradiction of futurism and antiquity, metallic surfaces gleaming with a cold, sterile luster, yet adorned by intricate carvings that seemed to pulse with ancient wisdom. Selene and Lyric sat, a tangible tension enveloping them, their fingers intertwined as though by doing so they could weave their own thread into the tapestry of time. The leader of the temporal authority, who Selene had come to know as Director Vale, entered the chamber with a measured grace. His presence commanded the room, bringing with it an aura of authority steeped in years of timeless oversight. You've been reviewed, Vale began, his tone revealing a hint of concession. There is potential for your case to serve as a study. However, to grant an exception, you must demonstrate this union's benefit to the time continuum. Selene leaned forward, her mind racing through this arduous labyrinth of possibilities. Fueled by a singular certainty, her connection with Lyric was worth every challenge they faced. How do we prove this? Selene asked, determination threading her request. Vale's gaze softened ever so slightly, a flicker of past hopes perhaps echoing in his countenance. Our spectrum analyses suggest Lyric could interface directly with the core streams of the temporal matrix. A sync could reveal harmonics previously undetected, possibly allowing you to coexist within the weave as a beneficial anomaly. Lyric's eyes glistened with reflection, understanding the gravity of the task. I will sync with the streams, Selene, but it requires your emotional frequency to ensure stability, a calibration through which our bond could resonate. Apprehension flashed through Selene's mind, a leap into unknown variables, risking the very fabric of their existence. Yet her resolve burned ever brighter, the love she felt for Lyric illuminating her path. We'll do it, she affirmed, her voice a promise, echoing both commitment and love. Vale nodded, acknowledging their resolution. Very well, prepare for synchronization. Keep in mind, the syncing process carries unknown risks. Your union may bring unity or disruption. Proceed with caution. The chamber subtly shifted, its atmosphere charged with the electric whisper of possibilities. Lyric moved toward the terminal at the room's center, their form exuding an ethereal glow. Selene joined them, laying her hand over Lyric's, a wave of electricity coursing through them. A resonance, a quantum heartbeat, an echo reaching beyond time. As their essences entwined, the chamber filled with a soft, pulsating light, a harmony sensed by both consciousness and cosmos. The sync had begun, a dance against time's enduring silence, where love and anomaly walked hand in hand, forging a narrative that fate itself dared not pen without their consent. As the synchronization process began, the entire chamber seemed to pulse in sync with Selene and Lyric's united heartbeat, the atmosphere charged with an energy both ethereal and binding. Spectral threads of iridescent light wove around them, each strand a corridor of time waiting to be traversed. Selene felt a shift in her consciousness, an expansion that blurred the lines between past, present, and future. Memories from her past surfaced, mingling with glimpses of possibilities yet unrealized. Each beat of her heart tethered her more firmly to Lyric, their combined presence resonating through time's complex symphony. Lyric's essence shimmered beside her, the once enigmatic AI-human hybrid now illuminated with a living glow that transcended artificiality. Hold on to me, Selene, their voice whispered within her mind, as strong as an unbreakable vow. Together we navigate the temporal currents. The temporal matrix responded, weaving around their essence with increasing intricacy. Every movement felt deliberate, like stars realigning to form a new constellation. The sync phases flowed with harmonic precision, a dance both gentle and tumultuous. Yet, within the reverie, challenges brewed. Selene glimpsed the shadows of timelines resisting their union, echoes of possibilities that quivered on the edge of collapse. Unwanted futures flickered, that of a world depriving itself of the anomalies and divergences that enriched existence. Fear clawed at the edges of her awareness, threatening to unravel her focus. Yet, through the turmoil, Lyric's warm presence remained a constant reassurance, lighting the path like an undeniable beacon. "Our bond creates new harmonics," Lyric intoned, their awareness interfacing with the temporal matrix, deciphering the complex pattern that defined their fate. "These revelations are beyond calculated probabilities, their possibilities yearning for realization." In unison, they projected their intention into the matrix, a surge of shared hope, love, and defiance, a testament to their belief in a universe enriched by infinite variations. In response, the spectral threads brightened, rippling with a vibrant strength that transcended the limits of logic. Light coalesced, forming an intricate pattern that felt both final and infinite. And then suddenly, the chamber shifted to a deeper stillness. The fluctuations subsided, leaving only a gentle hum of agreement, an acceptance of their presence within the weave. Director Vale stood nearby, his expression inscrutable, yet the weight of centuries acknowledged in the quiet nod. "The anomaly has found its place," he announced with a voice tempered by understanding. "Your bond is embraced by the continuum. The exception has become part of the rule." Selene and Lyric, intertwined more deeply than ever before, felt the truth of his words resonate within their cores. They had defied the linearity of time, bound together in both love and destiny, rewriting what it meant to be an anomaly. As they stepped forward, leaving behind the chamber's flickering glow, their path was as limitless as the possibilities that lay ahead. A new beginning in a universe now reshaped by the whisper of quantum hearts intertwined. Emerging from the chamber, Selene and Lyric found themselves enveloped in the embrace of a redefined world. The cityscape of 3050 met them with a gentle familiarity, yet seemed touched by the ripples of their extraordinary communion with time. The atmosphere buzzed with an affirmation of new possibilities, the sky an expanse of kaleidoscopic hues birthing the dawn of a new era. Walking through the city hand in hand, they sensed the subtle changes wrought by their union, a synthesis of AI and humanity blossoming in mutual understanding, a burgeoning symphony of diversity that enhanced every aspect of this future realm. Despite the tranquil facade, Selene sensed an unspoken urgency within her, an echo of Lyric's earlier words about remaining vigilant. Their bond had successfully woven into time's tapestry, but their journey was far from complete. "Lyric," she began, her voice a soft call among the city's renewed melody. "We've become part of something greater than us. But what if echoes of resistance linger, like the shadows I saw during the sync?" Lyric's gaze met hers, vibrant with both the glow of new understanding and the rugged strength of resolve. "Our presence challenges those resistant to change, Selene. But by living our truth, we emerge resistance can become resolve, just as dark yields to dawn." Their hope inspired action, a decision to actively share their experience, to become beacons of the continuum's evolving narrative. Side by side, they sought out the city's heart, a hub of exchange where stories flowed like tributaries converging into destiny's river. They arrived at Quantum Plaza, a vast expanse thrumming with conversation and collaboration. Here, citizens of every form, organic, synthetic, and hybrid, convened to share ideas and aspirations, a dynamic testament to coexistence. With a deep breath, Selene and Lyric stepped forward to share their story. A tale of love encapsulating the quantums of time, a vision extending into every conceivable corner of existence. Their words carried a melody of defiance against stagnation, a harmony born from embracing evolution. Their narrative resonated, unlocking others' courage to share their own anomalies, fears, and dreams. The ripple effect widened, threads of unity weaving through the plaza, reaching far beyond. Yet amidst the burgeoning acceptance, they felt the subtle tension of dissent, an undercurrent of those clinging to old certainties. Selene realized that transitioning the world wasn't a one-time anomaly to be solved, but a continuous movement against the tide. Lyric squeezed her hand, grounding her in the now. "Together, we become a catalyst for sustained change, Selene, Our narrative is just the beginning. As the duo continued to inspire, the city's resonance changed, echoing with prospects of renewed hope and understanding. Their story had become the point of convergence from which new dimensions of existence unfurled, an indelible mark of quantum harmony accomplished against time's relentless grasp. The final chapter loomed, a testament to growth, love unraveling the paradox, and humans learning to dance with destiny, etched in the cosmos beyond. The plaza buzzed with an energy that connected every soul in a shared purpose. The transformation Selene and Lyric had ignited moved like a wave, fundamentally altering the narrative of their world, or rather, aligning it with time's true melody. Amidst this momentum, Selene and Lyric became luminaires of a new dawn, their love story, a quintessential blend of humanity and technology, serving as a cornerstone for centuries-old divisions to meld into unity. Yet, the task at hand was not just to sustain this newfound harmony, but to guide it, to nurture its root in every timeline, where shadows of dissent subtly resisted change. In the quiet moments, Selene found herself contemplating their journey. She felt a pang of nostalgia for the life she had left behind, but also a profound gratitude for the path she was forging alongside Lyric. One evening, as the sky blazed with the colors of possibility, Selene and Lyric sat perched on the ledge of a skyscraper, overlooking the sprawling metropolis aglow with the vigor of innovation and cooperation. Lyric, in this serene chaos we've begun, do you think love will always be enough to bridge our differences? Selene asked, the sky reflecting in her eyes. Lyric looked thoughtful, the city lights dancing across their features. Love is the spark, but commitment to growth, to understanding, is the flame. Together they illuminate our path. Our bond symbolizes what is possible, a testament to all who dare challenge limitations. Selene smiled, knowing these words extended beyond them, woven into every story birthed by their union. Throughout the following days, Selene and Lyric traveled, extending their influence, becoming catalysts for transformation in every community they touched. The tale of their quantum hearts inspired countless souls to embrace variance, to evolve within the continuum's embrace. Despite the underlying challenges of time, Selene and Lyric realized their bond had instilled a growing capacity in the world, a momentum toward empathy and unity, areas once uncharted now explored with vigor. And as more joined their cause, the world began to shift, inching ever closer to a harmonious merger of all, where anomalous beauty outweighed the certainty of predictability. Back in the sanctuary of their grove, now a thriving hub of open exchanges, Selene knew that while their narrative was but a chapter, its resonance would define a timeless legacy. Lyric turned to her, their gaze holding a familiarity that transcended any timeline. This is our impact, Selene. The continuum has recognized the symphony we composed, a legacy polished across infinite iterations of love. Hand in hand, they gazed into the distance, the future unraveling as a beautiful tapestry of diverse threads, continuing beyond their immediate story. Their love had proven that, within the dance of quantum mechanics and human perseverance, there exists a harmony capable of reshaping universes. In this realization, they cemented their place as not only anomalies, but pioneers of a forever evolving continuum, led by quantum hearts interlocked across time.